Good morning. We are ready to go. Mike's on, we're broadcasting live. Welcome to those joining us online. Continuing our study in the Gospel of Luke. We're in chapter 5, so I think we left off. So still on this one, compared to 7, which is a whole lot. We're not going to get that far through it. We'll start in chapter 5. Let's just reread 1 to 16. I don't remember exactly where we left off. Because it was 2 whole weeks ago now. I don't remember what I had to correct. So, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was a long, long time. You're throwing a bunch of sermons, it's an examination, confirmation, all that other fun stuff. So, I think we're somewhere in chapter 5, but let's just read 5 and 6 again. By the way, shameless self-promotion, there's a section in my book on this, chapter 5, the miraculous catch of fish. There's 3 copies on the table in the narthex. We've got only like 2 left, but there's more on the way. But here's the stipulation with the free copy of my book. You can take one if you read it. Okay, don't just take it and let it sit on your shelf and collect dust. Yeah. And then, but as I say, when you're done reading it, pass it forward. That's the first one I wrote. Yeah, this one has fewer typos, thanks to Harold. It's now in the Audible store. If you guys are interested, you can get, you know, let's read, you can listen. It's an audio book. You can download Audible.com. I think it's awesome because more than 2,000 copies have been distributed. That's 12 sermons, 13 sermons, I don't know. To 2,000 people. Yeah, isn't that cool? We're getting word out. Yeah, hopefully. One of the biggest encouragements I've got is someone said to another local pastor, my grandma's been dying, but she's been finding a lot of comfort in the little book she found on Amazon. It's called In Their Sandals. Have you heard of it? And he had not, but she showed him the book. He's like, I don't know. Open up the book and it says, you know, the bells not for more information. I know him. So that was really neat. And that woman passed away. But she died in comfort, knowing her Savior's love and forgiveness. So, shameless self-promotion, 5 is a sermon in my book. I just want to say this because I got the Audible book this week. I've been listening to the guy who reads it. He says some stuff a little bit differently when I would, like, Sorrows or something like that. It says, like, you know, it's good because it could be done. Some dude I don't know. Stephen Marsden is his name. So the way it works is it's an Amazon company. ACX is the name of it. It produces books for Audible. I submit my chapter, and then I say, like, male reader, someone who has some bass in their voice, I don't know, squeaky, you know, language. Someone who's done a couple of books before. Those are my criteria. And then people would audition, and they'd send me a sound bite for the first 5 minutes or something like that. And then I just chose the guy at the time. I think it was California somewhere I lived. And I thought, hey, if nothing else, I'll get this guy to read my book. He's going to read 12 sermons and get a gospel 12 times in there. So it doesn't cost me anything. It's printed on demand, published on demand. So just a little bit of energy and time. So. And their sandals available at Amazon.com, CreateSpace.com, or free church dialects. With the stipulation that A, you read it, and B, you pass it on. Preferably pass it on to someone local. It's meant to be an evangelism outreach tool, not just to give to, you know, activity in Wisconsin. So, I don't know if Wisconsin. You know what I mean? And not that I'm opposed to that either. I want the word to get out beyond our local ministry here. But that's the idea and intent. Feel free to grab it. No, I should do that. That's a great idea. I don't know if they'll take it. Should try. I don't know. In Raleigh, I tried to donate when I was moving here. I bought all of the People's Bibles on CD-ROM. Just like, you know what? I want to be able to have it on my phone all the time. Have it on my computer to be able to search it and stuff out quickly. So now the whole volume of the People's Bibles on my phone. So So I had all the paper copies, and I said, I'd like to donate these to the library. I said, we don't just take donations. You can set up this form, and it's going to jump through hoops, and then the board has to approve or not. I don't know, it's probably not here in small town. Should have done that. It is a King's Treasure, so doesn't have to be there. It's more there. All right, excellent. Sufficiently for more than we here. Let's take a look at Luke chapter 5. One day, Jesus was standing by the lake of Gennesaret. The people were crowding around him, listening to the word of God. He saw the waters at 2 boats left there by the fishermen were washing their nets. He got into one of the boats, one belonging to Simon, and asked him to put out a little to the shore. He sat down on top of the boat. When he finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into the deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we worked hard all night and haven't caught anything." "What? Because you say so. We'll let down the nets." When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. And Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man." For even all his companions were astonished to catch the fish they had taken. And so were James and John, sons of Zebedee, and Simon's partner. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you will fish for people." He pulled their boats up on the shore, left everything, followed him. Well, before we discuss, we start to pray. God, we praise and thank you that in your grace you have caused us. You brought us into your kingdom. You rescued us from damnation, from sin and death. God, you made us your own. You know, with that, you've also given us the privilege to go to work for you, catching others. Give us the privilege of catching them so that you might clean them. Be with us and help us as we strive to better carry out our mission to go into all the world and share the good news of what you've done for us. By the cross, by the empty tomb, by the work. In Jesus' name we pray and ask for your blessings on our studies. This is a good one for residents of the Kenai Peninsula. Isn't it? Familiar with fishing? Familiar with not so good catch sometimes? Some of us familiar with awesome catches at other times, right? You know, last summer, dip netting from the boat, I think 3 times, 4 times. We never had more than 6 fish in any one of those trips. We weren't hitting. Summer before that, in 4 hours, Ryan and I had 100 salmon. Good. You're right. That's yeah. You're right. And yeah, I was always told that netting is not fishing; it's harvesting. So I was expecting. Yeah. Not to have to fish, but just that's going to come into play here. In fact, Jesus is going to tell his disciples. He doesn't really say, "You will be fishers of men." That's the English translation. He says, "You will from now on, you will catch me," which is a really cool thing. You don't do that. He doesn't call it fishing. He calls it catching. What made Jesus' command to Simon so unreasonable for a seasoned fisherman to follow? Peter's been doing this his whole life. What does Peter know? The best time is not in the heat of the day. All fishing in the lake, right? Water's deeper. He knows we've been out all night. The showers, out in there. He's probably tired, right? He's been out all night and out for work. You guys have been out fishing at home, right? When you get back, what are you going to do? You clean the boat. You're going to scrub everything down, you go in the salt water, start rusting everything, so you wash everything down. Peter's washing the nets, he's washed off the boat, he's ready to call it a day. And now, why don't you head back out? Really? I think Peter was probably like, "Preacher, you stick with preaching. Let me do the fishing." Right? You don't know what you're talking about, you're a rabbi. You're not a fisherman. Let me do the fishing. Yeah, to his credit, what does he say? I think this is a dumb idea, Jesus, but because you say, okay? He did first to Jesus. He gets honored for him. I think right there is a practical lesson you can follow. If you ever go, Jesus, this is kind of dumb your approach. I confess, I think that often. Why don't you just send an angel who would do a much better job than me, right? Would be more clear in his communication. Who, the sinless king would come down and minister to these people way better than I have. But what are we doing? Why are we sending a schmuck like me to do this job? It's so important to you. But, well, because you say so. Well, is a godly attitude. Yeah, Peter, you get this. Is it? Oh. It's like squeaking it. Maybe it's not. Oh. WD-40. Question 2, why did Simon Peter tell Jesus to go away from him? So he gets his nets and catching fish. The nets are breaking. Guys, get over here. Let's knock out all these fish. They come over with the boats are sinking so many fish. What does Peter get? I mean, normally Peter is quick to act and kind of slow to think. A little slow in the uptake. Here, Peter gets it right away. What does he understand? I'm a simple man, and that is the sinless subject. He just thinks, I think Peter had been following Jesus for a while. You know, John the Baptizer says, there's the Lamb of God. They follow him for a day, and then he brings them to Jesus. They spend a day with him. I think Peter understood, man, this guy is a fantastic preacher. He is the smartest rabbi I've ever met, and he gets it. Now, it takes his knowledge from rabbi teacher to God. He's God. And here, I don't know how Jesus did the miracle again. I often wonder, like, Jesus walked on the water, did he just solidify the water, or make himself lighter than water? I don't know. What did Jesus do with the fish? Did he corral the fish and just force them to go into the nets? Or in his omniscience, did he just know exactly where to find them? And I don't know. Did he miraculously multiply the fish as they're bringing them up? It doesn't really matter. Peter gets it. This is a miracle that only God can do. Here, someone who has done some horrible things, who has disobeyed God's very clear rules, stand before God. Sheer terror. Go away from me. Imagining that God should strike him down. He feels the sting of the law. Was he right in saying this? Go away from me. In one sense, absolutely. Yeah. What sinner dares stand in the presence of holy sinless God? He didn't understand what Jesus had really come to do. For us, the dumbest thing is to say, Jesus, go away from me, for I'm a sinner. Jesus, come near to me, for I'm a sinner. Jesus, come help me, rescue me. Die for me, live for me, rise for me. I'm a sinner. I think it makes perfect sense too. Put yourself in Peter Sandals here. Put yourself in Peter Sandals. He has every right to be terrified. Am I the next Moses? God is appearing to me here, and he chose me. I'm a horrible sinner. I'm a schmuck that's going to mess this up. That's the people in every seminary that gets on the altar, right? Really? Me? Yeah. Get away from being a horrible sinner. Speaking, followed by a catch. How does this portray work with you? Yeah, and not just American English hope. Like, it could possibly get better. We're sure it's certain hope, right? Where Jesus speaks, go there, and you'll find the fish. Jesus speaks, and then Jesus accomplishes. I think this was all a big prelude, a sneak preview for Peter and the apostles to what event. Fast forward a couple of years. Yeah. Peter speaks, and what happens? Yeah, so 3,000 in a single day. Can you imagine if our church always had 3,000 more members in it? But what a giant challenge, but what an awesome challenge, right? That's a happy problem. Wow, 3,000 more added in a single day. Talk about miraculous catches, right? The Holy Spirit did some amazing and incredible work. He might not do it on such a large scale for us, You might not get so many fish in your boat that the boat is sinking. God certainly takes care of your body needs. He wants us to have fish, dollars, food, farms, safe ways, right? Provide for our needs, keep it warm. God promises that when we speak His word, there will be cash. We do fish for people, but we don't just fish. We catch. We're promised. We get harvest. Not in every person, not in every case, not in every situation. It's certainly not 2,000 in a day. He doesn't promise that. He promises, my word goes out through you. It will not return empty. It will achieve what I have said it to. Either the hardening for some, so they have no excuse on judgment day. I sense so-and-so share the message and you reject it. Or say, promises when you speak, there will be a harvest. So, power of the word is obviously a thing of God in the Bible. Genesis 1, right away. God said, God speaks to them. Look at verse 11, how did their own reaction to Jesus' command illustrate what happens when the word is preached. Verse 11, I think, is an incredible verse. Jesus says, from now on, you're going to catch people instead of fish. What's their response? Okay. We know that Peter, it says he had his boat. This is his own boat. That means his business is going remarkably well. There's a fleet of boats. He calls the other boat his partners in, which means his business is going remarkably well. He now has a catch that he can take to market and make a couple of grand, right? Just like that. Thousands of dollars. And he says, okay, let's leave that stuff. Okay, I will leave my whole business behind. Now, that's not, God doesn't give you a command. You must leave your business behind and go be a full-time church worker. But the power of the word is beautiful. Yeah, I family to take care of. Maybe kids, we don't know about it, maybe, right? Okay, I will quit my job and go follow a homeless itinerant preacher who's going to walk around from town to town, relying on the charity of donations of the people that he talks to. He doesn't even have a home church, right? No regular offering based. Okay. Right. Yeah. No, I wonder what 470 is now, right? Or am I going to find workers? 70's two sons, I mean, they're his bread and butter, right? I don't know. Following along, ministry. Yeah. Yeah. How do you have that conversation with Dad? I'm sorry to quit. I'm sure he was probably going to be paid. A couple of votes, at least two. Higher demands. So maybe that doesn't happen to you, that Jesus says, I want you to quit your job and go into full-time ministry. Maybe it does. I had a couple of classmates who were in their 50s in seminary. Every year we had a few of those who said, no, I'm studying for a master. They weren't deterred by, okay, after 8 years of studying, I'll be 58, I have 7 years to do this job, but it's retirement time. I said, no, I want to be trained to share the message. Maybe it's not true. Even if he doesn't call you into full-time public ministry, he does call you to serve. His word has to be incredibly powerful. Jesus doesn't listen to Peter and get away from him. He doesn't leave. Instead, he stays by Peter. I'm going to show Peter what he really came to do. Not just to be fish, not just to provide for his physical needs, not just to give him the best life now and then, but to pay for his sin. It's going to be a while where Peter's going to fully get it.
Every day we don't get enough each other's
that hearts or souls that God stuff in it. You too could be part of it. What's the phrasing? Oh, we're not there yet. Let's see if you're 16. While Jesus was in one of the towns, a man came along who was covered with leprosy. I mean, not just a little bit here, but he's completely gone. I mean, this guy is way far gone. No hope for him. And probably pretty gross, right? You know, the lepers cry out, unclean, unclean, so everyone back away. Put the drinks as you walk on the other side of the road. Make sure you don't get too close to it, because if you've got leprosy, you not just lost your health, eventually your life, you lost your family, you lost your friends, you lost access to the temple, you lost community, you lost everything, and you were kicked out. Not a fun fate. Okay, covered in leprosy. Jesus, when he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. Let that floor you too. Jesus touches a guy who has a horribly contagious skin disease. The doctors would not touch the lepers, right? And Jesus puts his hand on the guy, instantly making Jesus unclean by the ceremonial law, but not really, because, well, yeah, Jesus would say, no, I didn't touch a leper, I touched this guy. See any leprosy on him? Yeah, I think so. Immediately, the leprosy left him. And Jesus ordered him, don't tell anyone, go show yourselves to the priests and offer the sacrifices that Moses commanded for your cleansing as a testimony to them. Don't tell anyone except them. I want them to be the recipients of this news. Don't tell them. Yes, the news about him spread all the more. So the crowds of people came to hear him, healed of their sicknesses. Jesus offered the true holy places and prayed. How does the phrasing of the leper's question does it show us about Jesus? Yeah, technically, it's not even a question, is it? If you are willing, you can make me. Right? He has no doubt that Jesus is able to do whatever Jesus wants to do. Touch him and make leprosy, fatal disease go away. Jesus, if you want to, could make the cancer disappear. And yeah, what else is beautiful about his statement? He submits to Jesus' will, though. He doesn't get it. He doesn't say, do this for me. He doesn't say, please, won't you? He says, if you're willing. If you're not willing, I'll learn to cope with instead the disease of leprosy. I once heard a sermon preached and then stole the Stephen Parks not too long ago. The theme was the best and not the worst of that. What a cool faith. If you are willing to make it clean. How is he also the worst of that? Jesus, how can I thank you, Jesus, for what you just done for me? It's the natural attitude, right? You're just taking my disease away. I get to worship in the temple again. This is where he sends him to, right? I get to go back to my home, be with my family, with my friends. And Jesus says, here's what I want you to do. Keep quiet, but go to the temple. Yeah, that's what happens. Everybody. Jesus asked him one simple thing, where he literally had to do nothing to obey Jesus, right? Just don't say anything. Why would Jesus say, don't tell me that I just healed? Are we supposed to tell people about Jesus, get the word out that he is the Son of God, right?
Jesus still had a job to do, and it wasn't to be your ultimately
And if everyone knows he's a healer of diseases, then what happens? That's all they want from Jesus. It's incredible. There were thousands of lepers in Israel when Jesus did. Thousands of cripples, thousands of blind people. Jesus only healed a handful. Yeah, you're right. Even Capernaum says, and many people brought their sick, but he didn't heal every one of them, did he? That's my point. He could have, with the word, said, all leprosy be done. And globally, leprosy is reversed, right? He's God, he can do that. He chose not to. Why? For some, sickness would lead to stronger faith. For others, maybe he knew this would draw them further away from God. I don't know. Jesus does. But he didn't want people flocking to him just for raise my, uncle from the dead. Give me, multiply this loaf of bread for me so I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Right? multiply like areas, as long as we can multiply things magically. Or like Herod, show me some cool magic tricks. You turn this stick into a tree. He didn't want to be the entertainer. He didn't want to be just the one who would take care of their earthly problems. He had to be their savior who was going back. The real purpose of the miracles is to demonstrate that he is the very Son of God.
You can't say suddenly one night I woke up, he has to ask.
Well, he doesn't have to tell the truth. He doesn't don't lie. You do not have to. You can say, I choose not to answer that question. My Jesus told me I should not answer that question. Right? He didn't have to share the story. He could have told his family, Jesus wants us to keep quiet. You're right. It doesn't explicitly say here.
He's not like a chance. It's just him and Jesus. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And no matter what he did, he's going to be bad.
Well, he could and he did. That's the last verse of the section, right? He did get away. Right, not permanently. Yeah. Dean, did you ever come to that? Other people were.
It was a time that while he was doing
Yeah, I think, and I could be mistaken on this, I think one of the synoptics says, yeah, he went to the hole. I got the impression he didn't even go to the temple. Had he left town, maybe it wouldn't have. That is true. He went to Jerusalem to see his hole. So I don't know, you'd have to look that up in the synoptic.
The baby was alive. Prosecutors have until next week to file official charges. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The second full-week of testimony was heard at the Boston Marathon bombing trial. ABC's Eric Petersky was at federal court. This weekend,
The start of the trial was about
And I get it. He's a sinner who's excited about what just happened. Thinks he knows better than Jesus. But Jesus gave him a specific group of people to go down. Not in his hometown, go down to Jerusalem, and I want you to tell that.
Jury saw two undetonated pipe bombs that had been full of
Right, did you,
Well, that's what I was going to say, is I believe it was not the hearing.
testified Tsarnaev tossed them open
And so just the fact that
threw them like a baseball.
there's only one reasonable explanation of what happened there. He can specifically say what happened. They knew of Jesus, they knew that this is the only way to be the way.
Yep, word's gonna get out.
And we are absolutely trying to be compliant with it, so.
Right. I think it's Mark. Jesus in his omniscience knew people would disobey what he had said. I think because we've been preaching, I'm going to preach in Mark. You have any?
Then he saw a motionless figure lying on the deck. Jurors were brought to a secret location near the courthouse to view that vote. Scores of bullet holes were apparent. They strained to see Tsarnaev's writing, which has faded. Stop killing our innocent civilians, the jagged words read, and we will stop.
Maybe I'm confusing it with the demon possessed Jesus. The most powerful one. Well, that one Jesus said new stuff. I don't know. But you're right, so this is not going to remain secret and not for very long. So Jesus says the crowd pressing around him, and again, this I'm marveling at this every time I read it. Jesus withdrew multiple places. Right. We talked about it last week, so again, Jesus sets for us an example. The Son of God needs time away to go talk to the Father.
As the Justice Department launches
What's it say? Okay. So it's a synopsis. Key line analysis. So there you go. That's where we get his disobedience. Mark tells us there. And I think it's still implied in Luke, this is what he told them to do, yet, this is what the result is here. Okay. Feel better about us for a second. Taking something off. Yeah, Mark. All right, next question on the sheets says, how can we become better fishermen in the kingdom of God? We have to first go do it, right? Go tell. You can't catch any fish if you don't have any lines in the water, right? Just get some lines in the water. How you can increase your odds of catching more fish? On the lines, let's look for ways that we can show you guys right.
Well, one of the other things that you can do is the way to catch fish oftentimes changes. The way it is different lure, different technique, different strategy, different spot, whatever. As Christians, we have to constantly be working on our creativity, working on our skills, working on our people skills, just so that we're sharp, but also it might be a different strategy. I know that the strategy today is much different than what it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, it was very kind of Jesus. Now, I'm hearing more and more stories, and you get a really in your face. So you constantly have to be. So I think I know what it is on the. I can stop.
Yeah, I like mnemonics. They make it easy for me to remember things. I have the ACTS, A-C-T-S, fishing for men, and the A stands for adaptability. You got to be ready to adapt. What works 5 years ago might not work today. What worked 5 minutes ago might not work today. What worked with this guy might not work with this spouse, right? You've got to be willing to adapt. C, get a gun barrel in your face. What is sharing your faith going to take? Courage. Courageous. How can we be courageous? Because we can rely on the promises that Jesus gives. If I get shot for sharing Jesus, sweet. I get to go to heaven and die a martyr's death. That's a great privilege for me, for you. T is tenacity. You can't go, well, we tried this, we tried that, neither works. Nah, let's just do it. Guess these people don't compromise, right? Tenacity, you gotta keep going at it. I don't know of any fisherman who goes out for half an hour and says, well, they're not biting today, and then quits. Okay, I know a handful that do. Now I do, I do, now I do, yeah. You keep at it, right? You stay out there. Okay, maybe this spot isn't working, let's move the boat. Okay, maybe we'll come back tomorrow and try again. Maybe we'll come back at a different tide. But we keep at it, we keep going. You don't give up because, this strategy didn't work and whatever, we're not growing here, so let's just shut our doors and go home. No, we keep at it, tenacity. And what does this whole section end? What does Jesus go off to do? Supplication. It doesn't depend on us, is the cool thing, right? We get to be a part of it, which is an awesome privilege, but it doesn't depend on us. Pray, ask the Lord of the harvest. Right? You would send those out, and then the very next verse he says, now go. Go answer your prayer. Go lead those. But pray to God. It's up to him. We can share the message. We scatter the seed. He's the one who's going to make you grow. He's the one who have it take roots. So pray to God. Bless our evangelism efforts.
We started him on the push, giving on, and then that's how we would do.
The way Jesus describes it is scattering seed recklessly. Gonna fall where it may, right? Someone's gonna fall in the rocky path, someone is gonna grow quickly and get choked down. Someone's gonna produce 40, 60, 100 fold when it's planted. But we scatter the seed.
Four old ladies, 6 of them. Those old ladies start praying.
Okay, so shameless self-promotion, let me tweet that. There's a couple of copies left of my book on the table in the garbage. I said you can take one for free, provided A, you'll read it if you have it, and B, you'll give it to someone else. Now pray for that person that you did it. You can tweet that. There's another 20 on the way, by the way. Shipped on Thursday or something. So there's two left. I don't rank me. I gave it away because you couldn't find the business card. So that's cool. You know, maybe I'll use this in there.
But they are interested in the church, so I think it's okay.
All right. So, you know, pass them out, but pray for the person. So now your new generation, pray for them. All right. Same thing with videos. If you haven't yet, grab the third one, The Week That Changed the World. It's a little bit different style than the first two. It's not a drama. It's a talking head. It's a professor explaining the evidence for the resurrection. So I think an excellent one. It's only 30 minutes long. You have time to do it, and then pass it on. Pray for that person.
I was going to say, check before you pass it on, and what we have is got big blind spots of the guys talking, but there's more sound at all.
Oh, okay. So grab a new one. We have 100 copies. Yeah. So watch it first for that reason.
Right. Just to make sure that it's.
Yeah. And if they say, I watched it with their blank spots in, I'll send my copy over and give you a new one. Yeah. Yeah, sick me on. So by all means, grab a copy. If you haven't watched it yet, it's homework for you. It's optional homework. Go do it. It's 30 minutes out of your day that I think is going to be well worth it. I'm very impressed with it. I wouldn't about check it out. All right, anything to that section on being fishers of people? One section left. Let's finish it up. Chapter 5. 17 to the end. One day Jesus was teaching. The Pharisees and teachers of the law were sitting there. They come from every village of Galilee, from Judea and Jerusalem. And the power of the Lord was with Jesus to heal the sick. Some men came carrying a paralyzed man on a mat and tried to take him into the house to lay him before Jesus. They could not find a way to do this because of the crowd. They went up on the roof and lowered him on his mat through the tiles in the middle of the crowd, right in front of Jesus. When Jesus saw their faith, he said, "Friend, your sins are forgiven." Pharisees and the teachers of the law began thinking to themselves, "Who is this fellow who speaks blasphemy? Who can forgive sins but God alone?" Jesus knew what they were thinking and asked, "Why are you thinking these things in your hearts? Which is easier to say, your sins are forgiven, or to say, get up and walk? But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." So he said to the paralyzed man, "I tell you, get up, take your mat and go home." Immediately, he stood up in front of them, took what he had been lying on, and went home, praising God. Everyone was amazed and gave praise to God. They were filled with awe and said, "We have seen remarkable things." After this, Jesus went out and saw a tax collector by the name of Levi sitting at his tax booth. "Follow me," Jesus said to him. Levi got up, left everything, and followed him. Just like we saw in verse 11, right? Okay, I'll leave my lucrative business behind. Then Levi held a great banquet for Jesus at his house, and a large crowd of tax collectors and others were eating with them. The Pharisees and the teachers of the law who belonged to their sects complained to his disciples, "Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners?" Jesus answered them, "It's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I'm not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance." They said to him, "John's disciples all fast and pray, so do the disciples of the Pharisees, but yours go on eating and drinking." Jesus answered, "Can you make the friends of the bridegroom fast while he's with them? The time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them. Those days they will fast." He told them this parable, "No one tears a piece out of a new garment and patch an old one. Otherwise, they will torn the new garments and patch from the new will not match the old. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the new wine will burst the skins. The wine will run out, and the wineskins will be ruined. No, new wine must be poured into new wineskins. No one, after drinking old wine, wants the new, for they say the old is better." All right, some fun stuff in there. a lesson on winemaking from Jesus, a lesson on how to party, a wedding banquet, Jesus dealing with tax collector, corrupt IRS man of the day. Let's discuss at the end of his life, Jesus would die for the sins of the world, and win his final victory over Satan on the cross, rip out of Satan's hands his holy weapon, the basis on which he can accuse us of our sins. Jesus, through his victory, established God's kingdom in which everything is good and right. How does Jesus show that his victory over sin gives him victory over all of the effects of sin? We could spend a lot of time on all three of these, right? In fact, I have. We just preached on all three of these, the lessons here in our Epiphany season. Jesus doesn't immediately say, get up, take your mat, walk, does it? What's the first thing Jesus addresses? Your sins. And he doesn't heal a man in order to give the man healing, does he? It's not for the man's sake, even. But it's going to be a blessing for the man, obviously. But he's doing to make a point to the people whose minds he just read, right? He shows his omniscience again. I have the power to take away sin, and let me prove it. Here, get up and walk. Only God can make someone walk, only God can take sins away. You're right. Look, here's the proof. It's interesting to me to note the way that he said it, though. He didn't say, so that you might know that I am God who has the right to forgive sins. Get to take your mat. What did he say? Look at the way that he phrased it. Which is easier? Okay? But what would be answered? Which is easier to say? It's easy to say because you can't prove it, right? Of course, which is easier? To forgive someone's sins or to make them walk? I mean, yeah, because of the evidence, right? But I can maybe, through many years of medical training, through many years of physical therapy, through medicine, help someone walk, right? And I ever forgive someone else's sins. See, so it's kind of fun. Not on my own, I can't, right? But here's, so yes, I can though, and that's what I think Jesus, when he phrases the forgiveness here, he doesn't say, I am God who has the right to have sins. He doesn't even say, but I want you to know that I am God who has authority to forgive sins. What does he say? I want you to know that, Son of Man. Isn't that an interesting way to put it? The people can forgive sins, authorized by God to do so, but because Jesus will pay for them. We can forgive sins. You're right. Yeah, on earth, to forgive sins. Right here we can forgive sins. Wait, doesn't only God alone forgive sins? Yes, but
It's one of the points where the Pharisees, you can't. Wait. If somebody comes up and apologizes,
yeah. Now, what's unique here? Who did this man do? Did this man do something to Jesus? He didn't sin against Jesus. He sinned against God the Father. He's saying, okay, you're forgiving me of sin. So if someone comes and apologizes to you, Mike, I'm sorry I just pulled that sale out from under you, I should have done it. Please forgive me. But if that guy says to me, hey, Rob, I'm so sorry that I stole that sale out from Mike, I say, you forgive me. It's very different, isn't it? I'm claiming to take authority to speak for you. So Jesus is doing it. He's saying, I mean, this man presumably did something that God approved, is what many scholars say. I know we can't prove it, we don't know that from the text. Maybe he did something simple to you. Who could or who would? Who could? Well, the priests would say, this animal was sacrificed in your place, ought to say, this animal was sacrificed in your place as a symbol of the one to come, the Messiah, who will, in your place, take your sin away. You are forgiven though with peace and joy. And it will be the temple. Through the temple, right? And through that ritual of blood being shed to point it at Jesus. So it was the priest's job to declare. By the way, more of the priests, what happens when Judas comes back? It says that betrayed his blood. What's that to us? It's horrible. I mean, this guy came confessing his sin and seeking the assurance of forgiveness. Leave us alone, where we can.
It just goes to show how twisted their intentions were.
Yeah. But not all of them. I mean, some, in Acts, I forget what the verse is, I think it's in 8, it says, and also a great number of priests came to faith. That verse floors me. And I want to know more about that verse. And we just hear so little about it. What did they do then? Did they have to find a new job? Did they become rabbis? I mean, or did they remain in their job as priests, continue to do the sacrifices? We talk about how these all pointed to Jesus. Or did the high priest say that? I'm sure Caiaphas didn't care for that, or Annas, right? That whole verse intrigues me so much. I think part of it is that they're interacting with Jesus, the Pharisees and the teachers of the law. Some of them, I think they're stubborn and they're rejecting him initially, but who knows, after the resurrection, maybe they said, you know what, we can't deny this anymore. Maybe some of them can be it. So, here, it doesn't say that they rejected it. It says, in the end, you'll see remarkable things. That's their confession. Jesus demonstrates he's God, but he also demonstrates that we, as his ambassadors, can forgive too. We don't know that. That's what I said. So we don't know that. There's many commentaries infer that. Right. Right. Yeah, they're bringing in that Jesus might heal it. But Jesus says, I see your real issue is your sin. That could have gone home happy then, right? Still under the law.
Verse 20, where it says, when Jesus saw their faith,
Yeah.
So it's like your friends have a lot of faith, so.
Well, I think he was included in the 5 commandments faith, right? 4 friends each carrying a corner. Yeah. Right. And he doesn't go, stop, no, don't carry me there, that's pointless. Don't get my hopes up in this. So I think all of them had faith. But there is just, I think it's plural, even that had too. Because I don't think Jesus would say your sins are forgiven because your friends believe, right? Jesus bases it on your personal.
The question, the rhetorical question asked, which was easier to say, together or wrong? And they respond to that, yes. And you can see their faith, that he does have authority.
Yeah, and this maybe for them too. Here's the assurance that there's sins are forgiven. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the 4 was carrying the Jesus so they could see Jesus, and his friend was the pretext for why we could see him. And they may have been burdened by their sins just as much. Hey, we need to know this stuff. Yeah, that was there's faith in this man. And I have to check the Greek, but when he says your sins are forgiven, is that I don't know if that's singular or plural off the top of my head. It may even be plural. Your sins, yes. Which may make sense because of their faith. So,
It's a friend,
friend, okay, so there it's singular. So, you saw their faith put on faith, but Jesus defeats sin, and as a result, Jesus defeats all the effects of sin too. Not immediately, not instantly, not right now, not yet. Every effect of sin will be undone. It's ultimate. For our believers. What about poverty? No more poverty when they sin. What about sorrow? No more sorrow when they sin. What about regret? No more regret. What about sickness? No more sickness. What about death? No more death ever again when they sin. Isn't that astounding? So, why is there suffering and pain and problems and hurt in this world? Why did I wake up this morning and it's something weird to my head? I saw God and I've been living ever since. I don't know. Why? Because there's sin in this world. We live in a sick, problem-filled world that's got problems. I have arthritis, by the way. I'm not hurt. My hands don't hurt. I've been hanging on to it thinking it's going to flare up sometime. Bodies are breaking down, we're hurting and aching sometimes because we live in a sinful world. What's going to happen? One day soon, brand new bodies, perfectly restored. No more guilt, no more shame, no more selfishness. That boggles my mind. I will be incapable of being selfish. All the effects of sin will vanish with our sin too. Forever. How cool is that? And Jesus is giving a prelude to that. Just as every time he raises someone from the dead, he gives a sneak preview of his resurrection and the final resurrection. We talked about on Wednesday. Jesus is going to undo sin to all of its emotions. How cool is that? Get excited. Two more questions. Let's get into the next 6 or 7 minutes. What would Levi do if I were to follow Jesus? And again, lucrative job. He's a chief tax collector. It says in another text that he's the head. He's in charge. I don't know how well your geography is. Biblical geography. If you're coming from Damascus down to Jerusalem, where do you have to pass through?
Syria.
Yeah, Samaria, north of Samaria. In fact, just here's the question: where is Jesus at this time? Yeah, Capernaum, that region, right, around the Sea of Galilee. Capernaum is right on a trade route, north to south. And if you're coming from the Mediterranean, and you want to come to Jerusalem, you land north at Jaffa. It's today Jaffa. It's just the same city. You go to Jaffa, and then you go over to Capernaum, and then south along the King's Highway. What do you know about tax collectors? What did they do? They toll booth, right? Oh, you're bringing goods in from Damascus, there's a tax on that. Oh, you're bringing in goods from Italy, there's a tax on that. Oh, you came from Greece. You come down from Turkey. You go through the north. Absolutely.
Because it's location, global trade, and yes, these are student being published. Really,
It is, and Israel itself is right in the middle of the crossroads of all these trade routes from Europe to Asia to Africa, right? So he's I think, as a lucrative business, he's got some dollars. You know, they're viewed as the traders, they're working for the Romans, who are the enemy, often cheating the people that they're taxing, saying you owe more than they really did, and then pocketing the excess. And they would do it with a Roman soldier standing by their side ready to threaten to rough them up a bit if they didn't want to pay. So it's classic Sheriff of Nottingham kind of stuff here, right? And hey, not that I'm compulsory. I can't help but think Matthew heard of Jesus prior to this event, but maybe he didn't. Maybe not. Maybe Jesus is just that powerful, and when Jesus speaks, his word creates changes in people's lives. Sheriff of Nottingham becomes the preacher's assistant, right? Powerful stuff. Okay. Of course, what did the other people think? They didn't really care for this stuff. What does Matthew do, by the way, right away? From faith. Huh? Well, yeah, that's a big thing.
Brings all of his other tax collectors.
Yeah.
People outside the so-called circles.
This is a good tie-in to our Fishers of Men discussion. This is the way I think evangelism is going, and it's modeled for us in the Bible. Don't go knocking on doors and have the dog get sick on you and have a gun in your face. But what is Matthew's tactic? How can I share Jesus? Invite him over to my house for a party. Come meet Jesus. You can't invite Jesus to physically appear. Come over to my house. I'll show you a movie. It's 30 minutes long. What don't you think about it? I'll tell you, it's called Hey, come over. Want to have some dessert? Coffee? Just be friendly. Hey, church. Good. This weekend. Would you like to join me for Easter? Join me for Easter brunch. Pastor's starting a brand new series on Easter Day. Check it out. Hey, you see this book? It's really good. It's called The Exodus. You know, find ways to invite them to come instead of us going. Invite them into your home. I think evangelism is not done on the porch anymore. I think evangelism is done in open. That may shift again, but that's where it is right now. I could be wrong on that. You can disagree with me on that. It's different ways. So, what we might get on better than follow Jesus to go back. I think there's a huge floor that this religious teacher would ask me. Why me? Everybody needs me. I'm known as the scum of the earth. When people say tax collector, they usually spit at the end of that statement. Or when they say tax collector, that's usually followed by and the prostitutes. And Jesus is calling me to be one of his disciples come Halloween. Okay. Perhaps, you've heard of this crippled guy walking. It's not a very big town. It's no bigger than our property here. I'm sure the word got around that pretty quickly. There's a preacher here who's healing people. Okay, hallelujah. Jesus does the same for us. His grace and forgiving us, who are the worst of sinners, this coming earth. Let's face it, we are. We sin all the time. And yet, His forgiveness to us moves us to say, okay, I'll follow you. I'll pardon for you. I'll invite people to come for you. By the way, thank you to all of you. If you got my email yesterday about the Path to Victory, the response has already been overwhelming. We've had a number of donations that have come in. We'll cover the 1,400 already. So, 3 miles, that'd be awesome too. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for your weekly offerings. It helps to say, hey, come join us at Grace and party with us over the forgiveness that Jesus has given. Speaking of partying, why were Jesus' disciples not required to fast? Everyone else is doing it. Pharisees are fasting. John's disciples are fasting. How come they're not? Tuesday, Thursday, fast days. What's the point of all that wineskin, bridegroom talk?
New is here. Don't worry about the old.
The new is here, don't worry about the old. The new is here, the new is exciting, the new is forgiveness. It's really a contrast with the gospel. If you try and mix the two and slap some law on the top of the gospel, you're going to mess it all up. Everything's going to burst and it's all going to go. Try and mix them, it's all just rejoice in the gospel. Rejoice that these 6 sinners, and by the way, it seems Jesus says, I didn't come for the righteous, but for the 6 sinners. I didn't come for you, is that what he's saying? I think, and I'll make my case for this over and over again, that Jesus is using sarcasm. I believe I believe God is sarcastic in a number of places in the Bible. Go ahead and put your trust in that, see what that does for you. Right? Go through Elijah, well, maybe Baal's asleep, maybe he's on vacation. Maybe you should go to that, maybe you don't know what I think sarcasm, and I think here, Jesus, of course, we have to be careful using sarcasm because typically we use it to cut or to sting. Jesus is using it to sting, but in love. But I'm here for you righteous, who think you're too good to need me, who think you're already so healthy you have no sins to forgive. I came to say, once who recognize the terminal illness, the cancer of sin, I've come to heal them, to restore them, and make them new. And let's say you hear the news, the cancer that's been killing you is gone. The doctors can't find anything anymore. What do? You go, oh, that's cool. No, you go, wow, that's great news. And you call up all your friends and you tell your neighbors and you say, hey guys, let's party. The cancer's gone. I'm healthy and whole again. At least I can't put anything out. But, rejoice with me. Don't keep quiet on that. You've got to deal with your sin. I'm holding on to grace completely. Rejoice with me, brothers and sisters. Rejoice that your sins are gone. It's time to party. It's time to celebrate, not to walk around with our heads down, not to mull around. Even in Lent, when it has a definite you enjoy feeling, right? We still rejoice, even though every Sunday is the mini Easter. So we rejoice in our sins. We have a party now. No, it's not. So we can sing Hallelujah when we're going outside. But the church is pretty consistent with some of our practice. We can sing Hallelujah on Sunday. We rejoice with party now because Jesus is forgiven our sin, is undoing the effects of sin, and will one day solve it. All right. If we didn't start this one, but if you want to turn back in, you can. If you want to hang on to it, you can. We'll try and get into 6 next week. Maybe we'll finish 6. I don't know. There's so many questions here. I mean, you have to take out the spaces. We can put one picture of them. So these 2 chapters have a lot to say. Excuse me. if you want, read ahead 67. Don't cheat like Harold and get the people's Bible, because that'll give you all the answers. No, I'm just kidding. You can't cheat like Harold. We'll come and we'll discuss this chapters Sunday. By the way, don't forget next Sunday, we'll need to wrap up a little bit earlier so that we can head outside, because weather permitting, we're going to get up on Sunday worship. Outdoors again, sessions. All right, let's close here. God, we praise and thank you that you have cleansed us of our sin, you've healed us from the sickness that has caused our eternal death. We thank and praise you that you brought us into your family, that you've made us clean and whole and pure. Help us now to be eager to share the message of your grace with others, so that they too might know that the Son of Man has power on earth to forgive sins. Help us to be the fishers of people that you've made us to be, to do all we can to spread the good news of your great love for all people. In Jesus' name, we ask for your blessings on our personal evangelism efforts, especially as we near Easter. In Jesus' name we pray. All right, thanks you guys. Don't forget to grab the We Can Change the World. The 2 people who are fastest have grab a free copy for the same. Grab some of those other videos. Grab some of the Japan. Yeah.
That's what
He's the biggest Captain America fan I know. He has a whole room just filled with Captain America stuff.